everybody, it's your girl. It's been a long time. Couldn't have left you, but out of dope beat. Step two, step two, step two, step two. Yeah, so it's been a very long time. I think the last time I posted, if I'm not mistaken, was November. Yes. So a lot has happened, good and bad, great and not that great. So I just wanted to give you guys, a very, very large update on where I've been, what I've been doing, how I've been doing, all that in between. So we're going to jump right in. We're going to start from November to now. I've been out of the loop, out of the realm, out of this space for such a long time, and I've had people be like, yo, like, Cass, like, when are you YouTube? Did you quit? Did you suck at it? Like, what's going on? Last time you guys saw me, right after my birthday in October, it was a great time. Gave you guys a life update, and then I did my bags. Also, y'all, I have some new bags to add, so we're gonna do a part 2 to that video because I just got so many more bags after that, and I just feel like, gotta show off the girls. So, November, nothing crazy happened. I was still working at the job that had tried to play with my, professional reputation to write me up because I had to get a blood transfusion. Funny story, today is August 7th, and August 7th a year ago, I got my blood transfusion. So, life 365 days later can be a completely different thing. Can be a completely different thing because a year ago today I was sitting in Albany Hospital waiting to get a blood transfusion, crying because I was like, am I finna die? And now your girl's body is like 80% better. I won't say 100% because I'm still very much anemic, but no more super like bleeding out spells. No more of that. I haven't had that. I found out what's wrong with me. And I found out what wasn't working for me. I don't want to say what's wrong with me because, reflection of God, so nothing's wrong with us. But as the story goes on, as this update goes on, you guys will find out. So November, working at the same job still, still living in Albany. One of my closest friends, Mimi, she ended up moving in with me. So that was a cool time. We lived together from November until I moved out in May. Yeah, it was cool. I had never lived with someone. I lived with someone my freshman year of college, and then my sophomore year I had a room to myself. My junior year, my first semester, I had 2 roommates. One of them I knew already, so like that was great. And the other one, she was a great time. Me and her loved Chick-fil-A, and she understood like my sarcastic humor. So both of those were great. And then the second half of my junior year, I had moved back home, so I was living like here. And then my senior year, I had roommates. Yeah, senior year I had roommates, but we didn't share a room together. We just like lived in an apartment, on campus apartment, whatever. So living with Mimi was a cool time. I would do it again. It helped me realize that not all the time am I communicating effectively or communicating in a way that will fully explain my point of view. Not everybody's communication skills are the same, and living with her helped me expand on my communication skills. So forever grateful for her for that, and just her in general and that whole experience. It was a great time. And like now sometimes I just text her and I'm like, damn, like I miss us living together, girl, because it was just fun. Like it literally felt like Netflix movie, Lifetime movie, two girls in their 20s, boy problems, overworking ourselves, over shopping, overeating, overindulging in everything that's not good for us, and just being there for major cry sessions. Like we would drink wine sometimes and put on the strobe lights in the living room and just blast R&B music. And that, my friends, is called self-care. So yeah, that was November. Nothing crazy. December happened, and December was cool. I was at that time I had reached my like limit with my job. So I was trying to find a new job, but not like OD, because the one good thing, if you work in a group home, you know there's always hours, so there's always time to stack. So I was working like 120 to like 180 hours every 2 weeks. So like I was getting that paper. Didn't ever save any of it. Like if I could go back in time, I would fight myself, because girl, what are you doing? Save your money, honey. But in that moment, it was a great time. You know? It was a great time. Relationship wise, I was still, well, not still. So 2019 fall, met a man. It was a great time. We had a lot in common. It was great. When we had great highs, there were great highs. When we had lows, it was terrible lows. There was never ever a moment of, oh, there's another woman. It was just horrible communication. And we did this dance of on and off, friends, not friends, together, not together thing for, I'll say, a year and a half, 2 years. This November would have made 2 years. So December we were on after not speaking for like 2 months, and that was cool, but like it was one of those situations where I realized like we were just tolerating each other because we had built such a comfort zone of like, you're pissing me off, but I don't really want anyone else to piss me off, because if anyone else pisses me off, they're going to make me angry instead of like emotional, I guess. It sounds dumb saying it out loud, so that's why I'm making these faces. But that was our situation. Me and, you know, what's his name? In December, I also stopped being friends with some girls, and I was okay with that. You know, it's one of those situations where it's just like, I wasn't wrong, you wanted to be right. Those two things can't happen, because you can't be right if I wasn't wrong. I wasn't wrong, so you can't be right, type of thing. So yeah, cut those heifers out my life. So that was December. Now we get into the juicy stuff. So y'all know how I said I was dealing with old boy. We was back on. We were having conversations about figuring things out and truthfully giving each other the space to get back together and be with each other. And I use quotations on this because, like, girl, is you blind? Like, is you blind to like what has happened for the past year and a half? Are you blind? Are you drunk? Are you not embarrassed? Is that not embarrassing? Like, that's my favorite. That is my favorite sound. Because are you not embarrassed? Is that not embarrassing? Like, are you not embarrassed? Are you not embarrassed? Cassandra. But no, Cassandra was embarrassed. And then the plot thickens. So January 1st, mind you, for New Year's, me and my friends went to the city. They're from the city, so we was out there. Like, we went to go see one of our friends, Melissa. She had a cute little shindig at her house for like when the ball dropped. So we was all there vibing, whatever. It was a good time. Prior to us going to her house, when we first got to the city, I had called him because I was annoyed. I was annoyed about something. I think my mom had irritated me, or something in my phone had happened, because I remember hitting him like, how do I respond to this? How should I pretend? Like, how should I do this? Whatever. Because like we were able to be great friends and still have our foolishness occur, but then still be like, okay, no, right now I need a friend. I don't need you to be my man. I need you to be my friend, and you know, tell me what to say, girl. So I had called him, and he was listening to the scenario, but like he wasn't really giving me. It wasn't really giving what it was supposed to give over the phone, and I'm just like, if you're supposed to be my man / my best friend / my whoopie whoop, whatever, and I'm telling you something, even if you don't feel like it's that serious, give me the respect that I deserve and act like it's that serious. I feel like all girls can relate to this. Like, even if it's not that serious, honor me as someone important to you and make it that serious in your brain, because why are you not reacting the way that I'm reacting? why are you not telling me my reaction is appropriate? Why are you just and he ain't never act like this before. So that's how I knew, like, okay, yeah, I'm blown. I could call him and pass this off to him and he gonna have my back. Y'all see what that's saying? Can y'all see it? It say stupid. Because that's what I was that day, thinking he was gonna have my back. Stupid. So I was already pissed. He added more pissed on top of my already pissed. So like, I was like, oh yeah, I'm finna hit this nigga when I get home. So when I get back to Albany, I'm finna hit this nigga. So fast forward, we get cute, makeup done, hair done, whatever. We go to Melissa's house. It's the vibe. We vibing. We playing Incoherent. I recommend everybody getting the game Incoherent. It's a card game where it's like the words are, I think the words are jumbled up, or they give you like hints or something. Whatever the case is, it was a great time. I was smoking everybody's boots. If anyone watches this that was at the party, I smoked your boots. Okay, your boots was what? Smoked. So yeah, it was a great time. We was vibing. It was like, that's us vibing. So the ball drops, 12 o'clock. It's January 1st, 2021. I call him. He answers. But it wasn't an answer like, yo, what's up? Happy New Year. It was like, he answered like he picked up the phone and then just had the phone here. And was just like talking to people like, yeah, so, you know, whatever, like, we outside, yeah. And just me on the phone here. And I'm like, hello? Can anybody hear me? Happy New Year. Like, hello? So I banged it, and then he called me back, and I answered, and then he hung up. So I'm just like, you had already pissed me off earlier, but you won't get the chance to piss me off again. Not when this New Year just started. No. No, thank you. No, we're not doing that. So we leave. We go home. We go back to the hotel. We take pictures. Go on my Instagram, that all black fit with the leather pants and the fours and the cute little, you know, metallic DKNY bag. Yeah, that was that night. I was killing them. That morning, the plot thickens. The plot gets thicker than my thighs, okay? And if you know, you know. If you don't, stay woke. Anyway, plot thickens. I wake up at like 10 a.m. because, you know, like, we slept in, but like, we're all working, so like sleeping in really is just to like 10. If you're going crazy, 10:30. Now I wake up to a text from this nappy headed, ooh, just stupid boy. Wake up to a text from him that said at 8 a.m. First of all, not you texting my phone with chaos at 8 a.m. on January 1st. Are you not embarrassed? Is that not embarrassing? Like, not you chose chaos this early on in the year and in the day. Go to hell. So, he's talking about, I think we should just be friends. Now, I don't know about you, y'all, but that's not something you just text somebody. Especially not nobody you was dealing with. I just feel like, R-E-S-D-E-C-T. What she say? Give me some respect. Not so. New Year's was on like a Thursday, I think, or like New Year's Eve was that Thursday. New Year's Day was that Friday. So that Thursday, cause from Albany to the city, it's only like 2.5 hours, but I can make it 2. Don't do me, do you? Thank you. NASCAR my body. So we didn't leave Albany until like 4 or 5 o'clock because there was no rush. Like, whatever. He was at my house. We had spent that whole week together. There was conversations about like I said, getting back together. And early, like that day, Thursday, because I had did a half up, half down, so I was in there putting the half up on top of my head. He was in there on the phone with his boy talking about, oh yeah, we finna go to the stripper party, and he was like, my girl don't care. He was like, babe, do you care? I was like, no, I don't care. Be free, have fun. So I'm confused on how you felt it was appropriate to text my phone, and be like, I think we should just be friends. Yeah, but I think that's the one. Who did you clear that with? You talked to your PR? You talked to your publicist? Did you talk to your manager? Did you talk to anybody? Because they would have told you like, don't think that's the one. I don't think that's the one. Especially because we was having conversations. You was like we're just, like, go to the city, enjoy yourself. When you come back, we're gonna have a conversation and figure out whatever this is. So I wasn't opposed to the whole let's just be friends thing, because I didn't really need to be with him. Like, it wasn't a conducive situation. It wasn't helping me grow. It wasn't really helping me do anything but have comfort. So it wouldn't have been a loss with us just being friends, especially because I said we were great friends. But I just feel like that's not nothing you text nobody. That is not something you text somebody you say you care about. I just feel, especially with no follow-up conversation, just, I think we should be friends. Like, what? Are you mad? Are you drunk? That's bad business, baby. So when I tell y'all, I read this man to filth. I read him his rights. I read him his wrongs. I read him his alphabet. I read him his math equations. I read him from front to back, back to front, up there, down there, up there, in between. Read him from heaven to hell, and then back on earth. Because you're, whew, 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 yeah, drunk. Yeah, you played yourself with this one. So we got into a huge argument. Like, I told him about himself. No regrets. No regrets. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. And yeah, that was January. That was January 1st, girl. Let me not even, it was not even a whole month. It was the 1st. So we get back. I had gotten a new job. Well, not a new job. I had gotten another job in an office. It was cool. I became a service coordinator, and I was helping house and rehabilitate homeless people and people who struggle with mental health issues and substance abuse. So, I was wearing my little cute scarves, my little cardigans. I had a badge. It was a great time. I was still working at the group home, but only on the weekends, because the job that I had was Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. 8:30 to 4:30. So January was a time. January was just a time. We had never speak to me again. I hate you. Don't ever call this phone again. Get out of my Caucasian home. That's where we were with it. So I threw myself into work. I was working all the time. And then the 3rd week of January, I went to my little group home job, and they exposed me to COVID. So the whole 2020, I was working, busting my butt at the job every day. There was never a COVID outbreak in the house. So I was like, okay, cool. COVID's scary, but we're good here. We weren't taking them out. We weren't doing anything. Me and all my coworkers were at work all the time. So there was never a chance for anyone to really even possibly get exposed to COVID. Everyone was doing what they were supposed to be doing. But then they started hiring new people, and that's where they messed up. So long story short, I go to work. They asked me if I could come in. It was a Friday. They asked me if I could come in because I was at my office. And they were like, can you come in? Can you just work? Nah. I went into work, and they talking about it's COVID in the house. I immediately called my mom. I immediately called my mom. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever felt this, but if my mama co-sign whatever I say, oh baby, it's over with. It's over with. If my mom co-signs whatever I want to do and whatever I say, it's over with. Don't look for me. Don't ask me to change my mind. My mama said it's fine. So I called her. I was crying because I'm I don't know about y'all, but I still am. Well, not as much now, but I was deathly afraid of COVID. especially because my mom is a bit older and she's had bronchitis a few times. So even last year, like during the panoramic, the pandemonium, I wasn't coming home. And you can ask all my friends in Albany, I was going home all the time before COVID hit. All the time. COVID hit, I wasn't going home like that because I'm like, what if I have COVID, don't know I have COVID, because sometimes, you know, you're asymptomatic, and I give it to my mom and she died. No, like, girl, nah, I didn't kill my mama with COVID. I'd be heartbroken. So I wasn't coming home all the time. So now accidentally getting exposed to COVID, I'm just like, I'm not gonna be able to go to the office because I hated working from home. I'm not gonna be able to go to the office. I'm not gonna be able to go home. I'm not gonna be able to be around my friends. So I was crying. I was boohoo crocodile Dundee tears at work in the office, like, yeah, I'm finna quit. As soon as I clock out tomorrow, I'm finna quit. As soon as I clock out tomorrow, I'm finna quit. Finna quit. Finna quit. Finna quit. Finna quit. I'm finna quit. Quit. I'm finna is. That's quit. Who? Can I get one on I'm finna quit? Can you show me how I'm finna quit? Cause I'm finna quit. I'm finna go. So I worked a little shift. I got stuck on a 21-hour shift in that COVID-filled house. I clocked out. I went home. I laid down, and I definitely typed up that email. So don't call me. This is extremely unprofessional. I have never worked somewhere that just puts people in such a hazard. When I tell you I used all my professionalism I learned throughout life in that email. They didn't call me. They didn't check on me. Like, no one hit me like, oh my God, are you okay? Like, I'm so sorry that happened. No one blamed my line. And that right there let me know, like, oh, y'all don't even care. Y'all don't even care. Perfect. I'm glad I quit. Don't call me no more. Don't call me no more. So that was January. So I let them know I possibly got exposed to COVID at my other job. So I think I was out for like 2 days because I got a rapid test done. And I was fine. Didn't catch COVID. Thankfully, because the girl that I had worked with that night, she caught COVID. So I was like, ooh. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you for looking out for me, Jesus. Like, thank you for holding me down, Jesus. Because, baby, I already don't have an immune system. COVID would have got me out of here. Yeah, so no. No. So for February 1st, a heartbreak really set in. I realized that, like, no, I'm actually very sad that me and this man are not going to be together. And that really threw me for a loop. And I've reached the point of healing where, healing in life where, like, full transparency doesn't bother me because ain't nobody finna shame me about me. Period. Okay? Ain't nobody finna shame Cassandra about Cassandra because Cassandra did what Cassandra did. And I'm standing on it. So I ended up drinking wine in the shower and crying and then passing out in my bed. And that is laughable. It's a laughable moment now, so please laugh at that. But when it happened, I was so sad. Like, I bawled my eyes out. I sent my best friend a voice note of me crying. Like, it was like a 5-minute long voice note of me crying and talking. But I know it just sounded like, I know it just sounded like that. And funny story, I've probably listened to Heartbreak Anniversary over 1,000,000 times. Like, that song was the song that I was like sliding down the wall crying to. Not figuratively, literally. And that was February 1st. So if you can't tell, my first trimester of the year was a little bit, or my first quarter, whatever you break your year up into, it was. So as February continues, I start to realize at my job, they don't really care about the people we're serving. Now, if you don't know this about me, my dream, which will be my reality soon because I'm putting the work in, is to be not only a prison psychologist, but also I will be buying apartment buildings and renovating them to turn them into I don't even want to say shelters, facilities for mental health, substance abuse, and homelessness. And not just for them to stay there, but for them to come in, get the proper rehabilitation that they need, learn how to re-enter society, and gain the skills, the proper skill set, like how to interview, how to write a resume, how to read, how to write, depending on what their circumstances are. So that way they can fully become a member of society again, because there's not enough programs in place to properly help people. And I know homeless shelters, the idea is it's a great idea, and this is no shade to whoever created homeless shelters or people who work at them or people who run them, but it's not enough. The same way with like felons and recidivism, what's done for them once they are back on the outside world is not enough. It's not the proper tools, it's not the proper skill set to actually help them become an upstanding citizen. I don't even want to say law-abiding citizen, just an upstanding citizen, enough for them to comfortably live amongst us and live with us and be us and be who they wanted to be prior to whatever situation happened. So that's my dream job. So not even a dream job, that will be me in a few years. Okay. In a few years, that will be me, buying apartment buildings and turn them into places where people can really get themselves together and properly be who they wanted to be and who they're supposed to be, instead of just being their situation, because everyone is bigger than their situation. And also, if you shame homeless people, I will find you and I will fight you, because that's not fair. Everyone is one messed up situation from becoming homeless. Everyone is 1 month of no money away from becoming homeless. So if you're mean to homeless people, I don't trust you. And I feel like, you don't really, have a sense of, what's the word I'm looking for? Respect for people. You don't really have a sense of respect for people. You don't have any morale, because these people are homeless. Like, people who antagonize homeless people, I'm gonna find you and I'm gonna fight you. So there's that. Sorry about that tangent. I just wanted to make that apparent. Like, if you're mean to homeless people, you're pretty much, excuse my language, not even excuse my language, if you're mean to homeless people, you're a piece of shit. Do with that what you will. So when I was working at this company that was helping homeless people who struggle with substance abuse and have mental illnesses, helping them find housing, and then doing services with them of like, okay, they want to work on their cleanliness, they want to work on their substance abuse, they want to work on their addictions, they want to lose weight, they want to work on budgeting, they want to work on finding somewhere to live outside of this facility, because yes, this facility has helped find these houses, but these people really like want to get back on their feet. I was like, this is perfect. I was making way less money than I was making at the group home, but I was like, this is perfect. Like, I'm not in it for the money, so that means nothing to me. Like, I'll figure out my bills, whatever the case is, but this is perfect. Perfect. And then I realized I was working with a whole bunch of white people who, for lack of better terms, haven't been through anything, haven't struggled, haven't seen anything. Like, one of my supervisor, her husband was a DA. Like, it was the way they spoke of our clients, it gave white privilege. The way they interacted with them, it gave white privilege. And two of the guys on my caseload, they were black men who struggled with substance abuse and struggled with going to jail and stuff like that. And I helped them. Like, you're not supposed to love your clients when you work in spaces like this, but I love them. I was able to identify and be like, yeah, it's not you. Some of these things are you, and we're gonna work on them, but your circumstances, no one wanted to help you from a young age, and you just fell into the cycle. As I started advocating for them, no, we can't do that. It was being shut down. This was being shut down. That was being shut down. But the last straw for me, honestly, when I realized like, oh no, I'm finna quit soon, is one, the job made me cry twice. I came home twice and cried. And just cried from not being able to do more for them and not being able to truthfully be in a space that like was working for them. Like, people were doing just enough so that way they could bill and then get money from their disability or whatever the case is. But the real, like the biggest last straw was we went to help my 2 residents clean up their apartment because that was like their services. Not there was a cockroach climbing out of the wall socket. Not a cockroach climbing out of the wall socket. I've never seen a cockroach before. And that freaked me out. And I was just like, and then they were like, we have to leave, we can't be, if there's an active bug infestation, we have to leave, we have to go. And I was just like, why is there an active bug infestation if they're paying you? You guys, they're literally paying you guys each of them are paying them a band a month to live in this house that is dirty, above a crack house, knowing these 2 guys struggle with substance abuse. What's happening here? What's happening? What's going on? Why are we not using our frontal lobes to process? Why are we not doing forward thinking? What's going on? Who I need to call? The police? Who I need to call? What's going on? So that plus, so like I was having a great time, so I wasn't minding the pay cut. But once I realized like I took a pay cut to not be able to fully help these people, I was just like, I gotta go. But I was still working there. I was like, okay, cool. Like, we're gonna figure this out. We're gonna not just abruptly quit. We're gonna figure this out. So February, we're February. Towards the end of February, one of my close friends, her name's Tori, she was trading. She's been trading for about a year now, over a year. And I was like, oh, like I wanna know more. Like I wanna, tell me what's up. Because if I don't have to get another job and I can just learn how to trade, that would be great because I don't really have the time for another job or the mental capacity for another job. So she had put me on. I started to learn how to trade, and that was a whole new experience. And I was just like, wow, this is a whole new world. So we're trading, we're making money, still learning the skills. So I'm not making buku money, but I was making like gas money for lunch, whatever the case is. And it was cool. So I'm on top of the world at this point because now I'm like, oh my God, I found a new way to make money. Everything's great. Like, period. It's great. March 13th rolls around. They have an event. The team has an event in Pennsylvania. Bring one of my best friends. She signs up. At this point, I hit P150. P150 is a rank that you get when you have a team of 3 to 11 people. So I'm like, it's great. So now I'm getting paid by the company. I was getting paid a little bit more than $150 a month because I had more than 3 people signed up underneath me, and it was like, great, this is great. Like, we're making extra money, we're vibing, whatever. It's lit. Money, raining showers. Okay. March 15th rolls around, and I don't want to say this out loud because my life is a joke, and I don't need the devil trying to top it. But March 15th was the worst day of my life. March 15th was the worst day of my life. March 15th rolls around. I go to work. I think I had a good day at work. I can't even remember what that day was. Go to work. My bro hits me. He's like, oh, like, yo, Cass, I gotta talk to you. So I'm like, all right, cool, Jay. Like, I'll pick you up when I'm out of work. We can go to my house, kick it, smoke, talk, whatever the case is. So we talking, pull up in my parking lot, and you know, like, black people never really hop out the car as soon as they pull up. So we talking. I get a FaceTime from my cousin, my older cousin. So I'm like, what's up? And I hear somebody like screaming in the background, but not like yelling, screaming, like shrieking, screaming, like I can't even make the sound, but like they're screaming. I'm like, what happened? Like, what happened? Like, what happened? Like, what is going on? No one's saying anything. Someone's just screaming in the background. But I'm looking at him, and he looks very calm. So, like, and, like, very calm. Not, like, okay calm, just, like, very calm, like that. So I'm like, what's happening? And then he's like, Ma, stop crying. So I realize he's talking to my aunt. So I'm like, what happened? Side note, That weekend, him and I were supposed to be driving down to North Carolina to go see my Nana because my Nana had dementia and my aunt was her like sole provider. So we were gonna go down there, spend some time with her, whatever the case is. So he's like, Ma, calm down, Ma, calm down. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? Like, what's happening? What's going on? Like, the anticipation, the anxiety at this point is making me want to throw up. And he's like, Nana died. And I'm just like, what do you mean Nana died? And he's like, can you leave tonight? Like, we gotta go tonight, we gotta leave tonight. And I'm just like, what do you mean Nana died? And even just saying it right now, it just gave me chills. He's like, Nana died, we gotta go down there. And I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna call my supervisor and tell her I have to leave. Like I have to go. So he hangs up on me and I'm still processing. So we go inside, we walk up like 2 flights of stairs because I live on the 2nd floor. Get inside and I immediately start bawling. Like I was crying so hard. Like right now I'm trying not to cry. I was crying so hard. Like I don't think I've ever cried that hard in my entire life. I was crying so hard. Like it hurt how hard I was crying. And him and Mimi were like, they were just hugging me, and like I felt like I was gonna pass out. Like I had called my mom and I was screaming, I was crying, and it didn't feel real. Like it still doesn't feel real because it's just like, not my Nana, bro. And like my grandparents, my mom's parents, I was very close to them, but I wasn't as close because they lived in Jamaica. So only time I got to see them was when we got sent down there. But my Nana, my daddy's mama, that was my girl. We was for lifers. We're both Libras. I have her face. I was her only granddaughter. Like that hurt. Like it still hurts. It's I don't know how to grieve because it feels foreign to sit around and just cry and just be sad, because even though, like, you know, mental illness, depression, sadness, whatever, I'm relatively a very spunky, happy person, and growing up we didn't have people die like that. So even now, like my 2 grandparents and my Nana, so 3 grandparents altogether. That's all I've experienced in life. I've had one friend, and at the time when she passed away, we weren't friends. We were friends in high school, but when she passed away, we weren't friends. That's the only thing that like I personally have experienced. So my Nana passing away still is a hard thing to process, and you know, it's overwhelming. I don't know if I want to be sad. I don't know if I want to be angry, and angry with myself because I was supposed to go to North Carolina the week before, and everyone was like, no, like wait, and I was just, something was just like, no, like you need to go now. And I was just like, and normally I'm like, I don't care what none of y'all talking about. I'm gonna do what I want to do. This is my car. This is my money. See you when I see it. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna listen to everybody. It is what it is. And I felt like I was robbed of the chance to see her again before she passed away, because it was like my aunt got to see her. Both my aunts that live in North Carolina got to see her. All my family down there got to see her. Even my cousin Brandon had driven down, I think 2 weeks before that, and got to see her. I hadn't seen her since 2019 because 2020 was COVID and she was suffering from dementia. So I wasn't gonna be selfish and go see her and possibly expose her and possibly expose myself. So it felt like I was one. So we ended up driving down there that day, and the whole time I was down there I was so angry with everyone. Like, my family loves hard, but they do not properly communicate. So them loving hard does not come off as proper loving. So obviously every family has things, and every time someone passes away those things tend to resurface. So while everyone's down there trying to rehash and build bonds and get over things, I was angry. I did not talk to them. I did not want to do anything with them. I was just like, I just felt like y'all grieving her, and I get that that was y'all mom, y'all nana as well, but that was my nana. You get me? And that may be selfish, and I'm okay with that. I'm not apologizing for that maybe being selfish, but like, that was my nana. Like, me and Miss Annabelle Watson look exactly alike. And for me, it felt more personal and more near and dear to me because my cousin Brandon, that was his mom's mom. My other cousins, that was their mom's mom. But it was my dad's mom. And like, people will have bad relationships with their moms but still be intertwined with their moms. At this point in time, my father and I have not spoken in 2 years. I don't care to speak to him. It's a relationship that I severed and probably will never rekindle. But even from a child, when me and my dad were on the outs, my nana loved me. My nana still accepted me. Even when he stopped doing what he's supposed to do as a dad, my nana held me down. So losing her felt like, whew. Losing her felt like I lost 2 relationships. It felt like I lost a parent and my nana. And I'm still gonna post this even if I cry, because transparency. And that, like, that still hurts now. And it's something that I'm gonna have to unpack at some point. And I was also angry because my dad didn't come. And that I was angry for my nana because he knew she was sick. He knew what she was dealing with, and my aunt was begging him and my uncle to come and to be there and to do and to just help her through her last years, and he never did that. He never did that. And even for the funeral, he got COVID, never came, and it's just like, that's your mother, bro. Why would you not come? So the whole thing. Whew. So the whole thing was just a very angry time for me. Like, even at the funeral, people were talking to me. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. Do not talk to me. Don't talk to me. Y'all gonna be in here grieving? I'm gonna go out there and grieve. We're not experiencing the same emotions. We're not experiencing the same loss. Don't talk to me. And from March to honestly maybe the beginning of July, it's been just a very hard and angry time for me. So March, I was in North Carolina. For about 2 weeks. So I had gotten the time off from work. So I was in North Carolina for about 2 weeks. And then I went back, and then I realized, like, I don't want to work here anymore. So I quit. I sent them the morning I was supposed to go back. I sent them an email, and I was like, I quit. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not in the space to do this anymore. I was able to fake it prior to this, but right now, no. Nope. So I quit. And I had no new job, no backup plan, just emotional and angry. And yeah, and that's really all that was happening. Just anger and sadness, but mostly anger. So then in April, because I had quit, I started spending more time in Connecticut. I was coming back and forth. I got on unemployment, so I was like, okay, like, I'll just go back and forth and just figure out what's going on, figure out what's working for me, whatever the case is, and just go back and forth and do that. So at the time in April, I was doing a lot of spotting, and the uterus was being weird again. Not as weird as last year, but it was being weird again. So I had gone to Planned Parenthood because that's where I handle all my like coochie stuff. And they were running tests and stuff like that, and they saw that my hormone levels were high, and yeah, they had realized my hormone levels was high. So I spent all of April getting like poked and prodded to figure out what was going on. And at the end of April, they found out that I have PCOS. So for those of you that don't know what PCOS is, it's polycystic ovarian syndrome. And finding that out was a relief, but also like, oh shit, like, I don't want that. I would have rather you just told me like you don't know what's going on, maybe my body's just weird, because there's, you know, like there's people who get the more extreme sides of that, and there's people who get the lesser sides, and I'm kind of in the middle of a lot of bleeding and a lot of spotting and a lot of cramps and a lot of pain. So to solve that, I ended up getting back on birth control. And April was just a time of more anger, more upsetness, more grief, more frustration, because I started to feel like, well, so is my uterus like broken? Like, is it damaged? Is it not gonna work when I need it to? Am I not gonna be able to have kids? Like, and you know, I don't want kids now because, like, you know, still outside, and not outside in the sense of like I'm whoring, just like I don't want no responsibilities. I don't want no responsibilities with kids. No, thank you. No, thank you. So I was even more angry about that because I'm just like, I have a broken uterus. And like, you know, in those times, you get more insight on, you know, your body and stuff, especially as a woman. It can be frightening. And I would just say to y'all, like, feel what you feel when you feel it, but give yourself the space and time to know that you're human, and that just because Google says something, that does not mean that is your situation, and that does not mean that like it's eternal, and you know, like you're screwed. Don't go on the spiral of like I'm screwed and now nothing matters and now I suck, because it's not a great place to be, and the world is hard. So you need to be your biggest fan, because the world already got haters. Don't be your biggest hater, be your biggest fan. Okay? So that was April. So May rolls around. May was I think May was okay. May wasn't okay. May wasn't okay. After further thought, May was not okay. I was on unemployment, but unemployment still wasn't making it do what it do, baby. And I had realized, like, you know, I stayed in Albany for a year and a half and have nothing to show for it. Like, I was supposed to go to grad school. I was unfortunately hoping to be in a healthy relationship, embarrassed, and none of that worked out. And I was very just upset and depressed in Albany, and it made me realize like I was staying in Albany so that way I didn't have to be at home, but like this is my home now and I'm still depressed here. So in May, I made the decision with my leasing, like with my apartment and the leasing office, to end my lease early, and I moved back home. So now, this is where we are. I moved back into my childhood bedroom, and from May to January 2022, I'm trying to get my life together. May was just a month of, I know I'm not okay, and I want to be okay, but this is hurting. And I'm gonna get really transparent with you guys. In May, I tried to kill myself because I was just like, don't nobody care about me. Like, I don't even care about me. I don't want to be here anymore. I'm mad sad. Like, it's literally hurting being this sad. I don't like me. I don't like anything here. I want this pain to go away. So me having to get up out of here is gonna make this pain go away. So be it. But I had talked to two of my friends that night. And at the time, I didn't like what they were telling me, but looking back on it, I appreciate them for how honest they were with me. And it was just basically like girl, like, I get this sucks, but you have to be stronger than what's happening, and you have to actively heal from what is happening. And it was just like, what the fuck? Like, it was just, I don't know, like, I had reached such a low point that people trying to bring me back, I was more receptive to. And I know you're gonna be like, well, girl, like, if you wanted to end it all, like, why didn't you? It was just, it's not that I wanted to die. I wanted to be out of pain. And that is something that I feel like people don't realize with people who struggle with depression and, you know, mental health issues and suicide. It's like, if I could live here with no pain and the excruciating pain of being reminded of traumatic things in my brain and having to decide, like, today, like, am I going to actively ignore the negative thoughts, or are the negative thoughts going to consume me? That's painful. Like, that is being depressed, anxious, paranoid, manic, all that stuff that goes under the umbrella. That is painful, and I feel like people do not take that into consideration sometimes. So it's not, and I'm not speaking for all people who struggle with similar issues to mine or vastly different issues to mine. This is just me speaking from my point of view. It is hard to experience that pain and be like, I'm gonna get up again today. Like, no. I would like to lay down forever. And that was May. That was May. Another month of pain, grief, and sadness. But June came. And it was a new day. It was a new dawn. It was a new time. In June, I was super, like, I obviously did not go through with it because now I'm here today. But I was super depressed. Like, I was into the thick of it. Into the thick of it. Like, I was hurting. And I had reached a point where I was just like, I don't want to die anymore. I don't want to be I don't want to be off this earth in order for the pain to stop. So let me figure out what I need to do so the pain can stop, but I can still be here and do all the great, amazing things that I want to do, because, baby, we're here to have fun. We're here to change the world. We're here to set the tone. So let's figure out what we need to do so you can start enjoying yourself. So I started therapy on June 14th. I started therapy. And it's been a great time. Like, in the beginning, June was still very much a hazy month. Still didn't have a job. Was trading still, but still learning the skill. So not making enough money to really pay off $2,000 worth of bills every month. And it was hard. It was hard because I still had responsibilities. I still had other things to do between paying off school, paying phone bills, like, and then also my addiction is unnecessary spending. Like, I will spend money on anything, any day. If you gave me $1 million today, I promise you I have $97 tomorrow. With no problem, with ease. So, like, I was just frivolously spending because I was feeding my addiction of shopping and eating out, because that's what I did. Like, I'm an emotional eater, I'm an emotional shopper, I'm just emotional. So I was doing all of that, and I was literally trading, making money, spending it on obnoxious, unnecessary things, and then taking my unemployment money and paying bills, but, like, not having enough to pay bills. And then also not wanting to trade, because trading is not a hard thing. It's not a tedious thing. But when you're not motivated, you don't want to do nothing, you feel like, fuck all that shit, like, you're not gonna do anything. And June was hard because I had to push through the dissatisfaction and the distaste for wanting to do anything and do things. I had to apply to jobs. I had to go to interviews. I had to still show up and put myself on autopilot, and that was so hard. So grateful that I did it though, but so hard. So like June happened, and then we rolled into July, and July was such a great month. July loved me. July gave me forehead kisses. July hugged me softly and told me everything was gonna be fine. I got a new job. I work at the company that I worked for before I moved to New York, back in the group home setting. Now, like July was just me slowly creeping back into the work of things and trying to figure out where I fit, what didn't fit, and doing therapy. Literally, therapy is saving my life. Like, therapy is the reason I'm here. Therapy is the reason I'm glowing. Therapy is the reason I'm smiling. Therapy is the reason I'm happy to wake up every morning and go, and God in therapy, and my friends, but God in therapy. Just so happy to just and just let it go. Let God and let go. And August also feels that way. Everything just feels like not brand new, but refreshed. Everything feels very much like, yeah, no, we're not gonna do that. Negative thoughts, we're not gonna do that. Like, even now, been working on my self-love, been working on my self-appreciation, and it's just like always felt like that bitch, but now I know I'm that bitch. Okay, period. Always felt like that girl, but now I know I'm that girl. And just really building a deeper understanding and appreciation for myself, and really trying to be genuinely my biggest fan. Always been my biggest fan, but genuinely doing it now. And not from a place of like, okay, fake it until you make it, fake it until you like yourself, but really from a place of like, no, I like myself. I enjoy myself. I love myself. And yeah, this is probably the longest video I'm ever gonna post on here, but I just felt like you guys deserved this, honestly, because, you know, if you know me in real life, you know I'm very much a open book, talk about any and everything with no problem, and I felt like this was the space to also do that with you guys. So I will be posting a video. My plan for you guys, for us, is to post one video every week on Saturdays. I feel like that's the best time because my work schedule, I'm off Wednesday through Friday, so I could record, edit, and then post on Saturdays. And I'm so ready to like do, be, feel, love, all that great stuff. Like, I recommend everyone going to therapy, one, because when you start doing it, you begin to notice rather quickly like things that you're just like, yeah, I don't really want to do that anymore. Yeah, I'm not really going to entertain that anymore. Yeah, I'm not really going to participate in that anymore. Yeah, no thank you. No. And it's such a refreshing feeling because it's like I feel myself changing. I feel myself trying to be a better me. I feel myself not self-sabotaging anymore. So, and I get a whoop whoop because, girl, I used to do me in. So yeah, like it's the easy, breezy, beautiful cover girl. Okay? It's giving what it's supposed to give. Like, I'm feeling life is giving me that Jenny Saquon now. Okay? The creme de la creme. The bone apple teeth. I'm very happy to be here. Yeah, you guys, thank you for bearing with me and watching this video. And this is my life update. You guys won't be getting as many life updates because I'm going to give you guys consistency. But I love you guys. I hope you guys love yourselves. If you don't, we can work on that because you're amazing. Okay, you the baddest in the club. And yes, make sure you like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel, and remember, stay blessed, never pressed, and never stressed. Stay blessed, never pressed, never stressed. Okay, love? Because life is hard, so don't be hard on yourself. Okay? I love you guys. Bye.